All right, welcome to the Coach Corbin Show. As you can see, we are on location in the what you call this? The
team room.
The team room.
Yep.
Okay, so we got a bunch of the guys behind us. This is our first hour weightlifting class. So how many guys would you say a percentage of the team is here with us right now?
I'd say we got probably a solid fifth of the team maybe in here.
Fifth of the team?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And with us today is Coach Bryant, the defensive coordinator. So we're obviously focusing on defense this week. We did offense last week. So we're going to recap Shawnee again, this time on the defensive side of the ball. And so let's take it away and see what were you liking? What was things that stood out to you from last, I guess now 2 weeks ago, Friday night?
Right. I think we did a whole lot better job just running the ball and tackling. We had some issues. Every defense has issues at the beginning of the year as far as tackling and so forth. But that was one thing we walked away. We made mistakes, but those are mistakes are coachable. But the effort level, we talked about effort and tackling. We did a whole lot better job from the week before broken arrow scrimmage.
And I talked with Adam, last week on our show, just some of the issues, some of the pros and cons of playing as a week 0 game. One of them is obviously you get a bye week somewhere within the season, which obviously we had this past week. One of the cons to me is like you're trying to get so much in so fast that sometimes, almost some fundamentals can almost lack at times because you're trying to make sure that you can get lined up right. And I felt like last week we were able to kind of regroup and kind of almost get an extra week of early fall camp in, whereas, maybe we weren't able to do that getting ready for week 0 because, ultimately you want to make sure we prepare our kids to get them lined up correctly and know their checks, know their formations, know what scheme's coming at them and all that stuff. And so you're trying to rush so fast to try to get all that in that sometimes you're not able to do some of the more fundamental things that you want to be able to get just to be able to play football. And I felt like last week we're able to do that.
Right. I mean, it's a process. Every week you look for the defense. You're not going to be the best tackler until hopefully district, and every week you try to build onto that. I think we build on this week, and we tackle better than what we did last week. We'll be on pace of being a really good defensive team as far as to be able to tackle and run the ball well.
All right. So any newcomers that stood out that maybe weren't on the field last year? On the defensive side of the ball, anybody that just kind of stood out that was?
Yeah, we have a good handful. Other than
and are any of them here? If you're here, just pop your hand up so we can recognize your face.
We
see with the helmet.
We do have quite a bit of young guys. So and then we have some guys that are just relatively new. They're new to Choctaw schools. Jeff Robertson, Tavion Robinson, are two that stood out the most. And then you have some young guys that are playing. Ethan Roan. Bobo Hawkins, two guys that done well. And then Braden O'Hagan is a D tackle from Texas that was in Choctaw schools when he was younger. He went to Texas, now he's back. He had a tremendous game. But, there's I think that everyone other than a couple of guys are relatively new for defense. And the guys that they're playing, like Angel Ackerman is playing a corner. He played safety last year, so he's playing a new position. He's new. He did a tremendous job. Jordan Mukes. Yeah. I can go down the list. Everyone there on defense is playing new position in a lot of ways. And a lot of the guys are in here. You got E that's playing defensive end. He's new to the field. He was here last year, but he's new to the field this year. So I don't want to leave anybody out, but I'd say everyone's relatively new.
We had 3 interceptions, correct?
Yes.
In the game, 2 of them were from sophomores with Jesse Tisdale and Spencer Bowles, both coming up with big interceptions, and you get playing a lot of young guys, and as coach said, a lot of some guys that maybe are older guys that are maybe new to the school. Or some guys that have just had tremendous off seasons and are able to, step up and go. As you mentioned earlier, for filming in front of the best live studio audience going on right here, getting the gun. A bunch of guys, a lot of fun to be around, and I'd say there's no better way to, start your morning, be able to hang out with them and do it. You got a great group. It's a lot of fun to be around. We have a lot of laughs, and they work really hard as well. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So let's take a look at now we got an opponent this week. So let's take a look at Lawton Ike and see what we got What are we looking at with them?
Yeah. Ike is a really athletic team. I think Coach Gibson's going. He's in his first year there. He's a really good guy, good coach. He's coached at the collegiate level for a long time. He's been a big veteran of several in-state Division II schools here in state, and they're athletic. They can hurt you quick because they have some speed and some size. We're looking, as Coach said, continue to tackle, well on defense, get lined up correctly, play assignment football, offensively, limit turnovers, execute, and like we mentioned, kind of the weekly theme is, we're trying to go 1-0. 1-0, and that's our only worry this week is to go 1-0. We're internally focused. Obviously, we're going to prepare for Ike. But on the same token, ultimately, we're trying to get better. And as Coach alluded to, you're trying to be ready when district play hits. You're trying to be ready to get there. So, obviously, you want to win every day, win every rep, win every game. But ultimately, you're trying to get better each week. So, that's it.
They're not going to make it. You didn't make it. So, all right. And anything on the defensive side that you're looking at?
Whenever you hear just the small laughter, something bad's going on.
I caught him out of the corner of my eye surfing up there. So, Coach Bryant, anything defensively that you got to be aware of?
It's just carry over to what Coach Corbin said. Their athletic team, high-effort team. I know Coach Gibson as well. He's a tremendous coach. I'm sure he's going to do whatever he needs to do to get his team prepared. So we're going about continuing to build on what we did last week, improve what we did on defense as far as tackling and running the ball, and we'll go out there expecting the best thing's going to be thrown at us, and we got to address it as a nameless, faceless opponent.
All right. So we got how do we prepare normally for a short week? So we got a game on Thursday instead of a Friday. Does that alter a little bit?
Obviously we try to look at everything as a positive. I love it, to be honest with you. We'd play on Monday if we could. It's like I think that, kids, we've talked about that on a past show, just kind of the ratio of how much practice time goes into football to how many times you get to actually play a game. It's so short. That anytime we get to get a week or a day earlier, we enjoy that. What does it change is it's like obviously our Wednesday is now like a Thursday. Our Tuesday is now like a normal Wednesday. And so it moves everything up a little bit. We're instead of like maybe a normal walkthrough day, on the day before a game, we're practicing full pads today. Or Wednesday before the practice, before the game, we're full pads. And so, that standpoint, you got to tighten up special teams and all those kind of things. But on the same token, so do they. So I always remember that. And so if all things are equal, I like our chances always, to prepare on a short week. Yeah. And so I enjoy Thursday night games. The only downside to me is I feel bad for our kids that we'll get home at 12:30 or 1 o'clock at night, and then they're going to be, going to get up and go to first hour, geometry or whatever it may be, and be ready to roll. And I know they will, but that's the only downside to me.
Yeah. All right. So, one thing I forgot to have us do on the first show was introduce our coaching staff. So if you could do a quick little rundown of the coaches. Finished off the jug of water. So just take us through the staff real quick, and who do we got on staff this year?
Yeah. We I'll start on the offensive side of the ball. As last week on our show was Cy Stallard, our offensive coordinator. We've also hired new to the staff, Reese Gilbert, brother of Kimes Gilbert. Reese, an OBU grad. Played 4 years at OBU. Is a really good athlete, really good coach. He coaches what we call our flex position, which are kind of the off tight end position, which is what he actually played in college. Oh, okay. Very familiar with the offense. Does a fantastic job. Also have returning Ethan Fearborn, the offensive line. Coach Fearborn does a great job with our O-line. Has a great culture built within our team, and does a fantastic job. And I made the comment that I think that where Coach Fearborn's at, I think that he's up on the elite level of offensive line coaches in the state of Oklahoma right now. He's done a great job. Works his tail off. And is a great person. And also him and his wife Courtney are expecting a baby.
Oh, nice.
So right here, and they already announced on social media. So I'm not not totally taking it, but I look forward to welcoming a new little jacket into the into the swarm, and excited about that. Also hired Coach Ron Brown to coach receivers. Coach Brown as coach for several years. He also kind of interesting about Coach Brown is that he coaches with the XFL.
Nice.
in Dallas as well, the new Dallas Renegades with Bob Stoops' team. And so he coaches there as well.
Wow.
And so it's really interesting, and we feel real honored to have Coach Brown here. Coach Brown brings a lot of energy, to our team, and he's kind of unofficially our speed coach. Works really well with our kids. We also have Coach Matt McGinley is returning as well, and Coach McGinley will be helping out with the offensive line. Does a fantastic job. He's a Choctaw graduate. He's finishing up his degree right now, and hopefully get him on here full time shortly. And we also have returning as well the director of fun, Mr. J.J. Vinzer. And Coach Vinzer always does a fantastic job and brings a lot of laughter to the office as well as a lot of knowledge. Very organized, helps out in a lot of different ways, and does a fantastic job. Defense side of the ball, we have obviously Greg Bryant as a defensive coordinator, also coach at safeties for us, does a fantastic job. Greg's been with us since we've been together since we've been here, and done a lot of world show veterans now. Yeah, have done a lot of them, and Coach does a fantastic job of organizing defensive staff and getting our kids ready to play week in and week out. And I'm always amazed when, seeing what we're doing defensively and, how difficult that is to scheme and how well our kids are lined up and coach and tackle and all that kind of things, and works really, really hard. And in my opinion, is the best defense coordinator in the state of Oklahoma. Also have Coach Mike Brown is our freshman coach, and he helps out with some DBs as well. Coach Brown does a great job. Obviously, he's been here going to the second year here with us in the football staff. Does a great job with our freshman team, organizing that, making sure travel, all those kind of things, and is a very, very, very well organized man. We also have Coach Carter, Coach Terrence Carter, returning. Has been here since we've been here with corners. Coach Carter's done a fantastic job, and I always say that you'll not see a guy that has better relationships with kids than Coach Carter. Truly has a heart for kids, and also really good knowledge of the game. Coach Mark Morris, returning again at inside linebackers. Coach Morris, he knows inside linebackers like inside and out, and has won several state championships at some different spots and does a great job for us and our staff. Also have Coach Dow Nichols with outside linebackers. Coach Nichols is I guess is one of the only remaining person from that's been here before we got here on staff. And Coach Nichols is just he's our special teams coordinator. Does a great job with that. And obviously in Friday's game versus Shawnee, we're able to come up with a big onside kick, right off the bat, and that's a credit to Coach Nichols and the hard work that he does and our kids as well. He works tirelessly at that, does a great job with that. Also, brand new, we have Coach E.J. Tillinger on the defensive line. He coaches our interior linemen, so he coaches our nose and our tackle. And Coach Tillinger is kind of the joke is he's the only one that we know of that actually has a higher bench press than Coach Gilbert. So he's awesome with kids, very knowledgeable, works really hard, super bright future in coaching, and we're really fortunate to have him on. And then of course we have our strength coach, Coach Kimes Gilbert, back again, coaching our ends. And Coach Gilbert, as you know, just no one does it better than in the weight room and on the football field. Extremely intelligent, extremely high character person, and feel real fortunate to have him on our staff.
All right. So the question of the day that we had posed was, if you were to be the star of a feature film, which of the football coaches would be your sidekick? So, for example, Matt Crowder picked himself as the castaway Tom Hanks, and Coach Dow Nichols as Wilson the volleyball. So that was his pick. So I grew up with Batman and Robin, and my brother and I would play Batman and Robin as 4 and 5 years old. I'm the younger brother, so I always got Robin. So I'm going with Batman, and I'm going to take the young guy, the boy wonder, Reese Gilbert, as my Robin.
Oh, it'd be a great Robin.
Yeah, so
it'd be a great
my
Robin.
set. So now pose to you two, who is your sidekick for your film?
I'd probably have to go with the comedy, so I'd probably have to not be too serious. So I'd probably have to go with Coach Vinzer or JJ.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
He'd be I'd probably play like the straight man, and he'd be the funny guy. So,
yeah.
probably go with some type of I don't know, maybe a cop buddy or maybe
I'll say like maybe you should Step Brothers would probably be a good one. Yeah, you guys could team interview together
all the time. Yeah, we can work off each other.
Matching tuxedos and
matching tuxedos.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Dual interviews, everything like that. So
Yeah.
I'd go with Coach Vinzer with
We actually thought about building some bunk beds inside the coach's office and allowing them kind of to bunk up together and see each other. And, Coach Bryant has made the comment to Coach Vinzer that they're only work acquaintances, and that's kind of the office joke, and they can't talk actually outside the office, and so they have some pretty good back and forth, and it's a lot of fun within there. I think I would go with Thor, and I'd have to say
go the Avenger route.
I'd have to go Coach Kimes Gilbert as the Hulk.
Nice.
Would be a good one. Yeah. Coach Bryant, when he heard that, made the comment that I'm more of a Hawkeye,
yeah.
But which I can only take as a compliment, So I wasn't real sure how to take that, so I took it as a compliment on that.
Yeah.
But that would be my pick.
Okay. Yeah, and again that question is posed because next week we know is homecoming week. Next week is where we put the coaches to this test on the camera. We have our homecoming video, which is in the works. I got the script under wrap.
Top secret.
Yep. But there's going to be some blood in this one. There's a lot of action. There's going to be a lot of action, and it's going to be some interesting stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
The theme, I'll give everybody the theme, is it's kind of like a theme park. So we're going with Choctaw land as the theme for the school homecoming theme. So what I do is I take that theme and I wrap it into a movie or to a little trailer.
Do I need to have my blood type ready for a transfusion, or am I going to make it out to this?
It's all on my end. You guys.
Oh, okay, good.
You guys are the ones delivering
as long as I'm not the one bleeding, I'm good. All right, I'll take that.
So, but yeah, that's next week. So I think we're wrapped up. Gentlemen, anything you want to say before we head out against Lawton Ike? He said we're going to whoop Lawton Ike. So there we go. All right.
We're excited. Look forward to Thursday night at Lawton Ike, Cameron Stadium, 7 o'clock. Can't wait to have everyone come out and show some support.